Wanted to first start off by thanking everybody that has viewed my videos. I greatly appreciate it. I'm also super thankful to the people that have subscribed to the channel as well. So with that, I want to just kick it off and discuss the idea of empowerment today and really focus on the idea of individual empowerment and how each of us have within us the ability to accomplish anything. We can do miracles. And starting off though, I want to describe what really is empowerment. So empowerment is the idea of showing somebody or guiding them and proving to them that they have within them the power and the ability to accomplish whatever they dream and really envision in their future. Now, I'm not saying that every dream is something you're not just one day gonna be able to lift like a car over your head or something, but you can empower people and people can be empowered to be successful in life, and that's really all it takes. And it's kind of funny, Jesus was actually a huge proponent of this. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with the quote, or if you're not, I'm going to give the quote now. You can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach a man to fish and feed him for a lifetime. And really what that is saying is you can empower people to be successful within themselves, to create success and be self-sufficient. You don't need to just give somebody something because really all that does is a temporary solution. It's not providing them any long-term benefit. It's like it's the concept of and this is probably a poor example, but because sometimes just giving somebody $1 or food or something like that can be beneficial in the short term because it helps them over for a little bit. But really we should be focusing on how can we help people be successful for the rest of their lives and teach them how to be successful. So one example of this, like I was going to mention, is like, let's say you have a homeless person. You could potentially give them $10 so that they give a meal, or you could potentially give them the opportunity of a job. Even if that job is maybe they're just flipping burgers, or just like maybe they're doing some janitorial work or anything. I actually read an article in the past where there was this guy that gave basically this homeless man a job as on one of his janitor staff, and the man was extremely grateful because it wasn't just giving somebody $10; it's giving somebody the ability to make $10 over and over and over again. And sometimes that's what people need. It's a starting point for them to grow and move up in life, and they feel empowered within themselves to actually accomplish and be successful. And I see this a lot in society today. Rather than solving the root problem of teaching people that hard work does pay off, and that good things in life don't come easy. Success doesn't come easy. It's not something you just get handed. And I'm probably gonna get I'll get maybe some lashback against that. It's like, well, what about all these rich people that just get handed money and trust funds? And it's like, that's a little bit different. That's not being handed success. You're being handed the inheritance of somebody else's success. That's not anything. And if they really wanted to make, do something positive with that, they would take that and then feel empowered to use that money to better mankind or go do something and turn it into further, money or profit or business. And money's not the most important thing. I'm not trying to get to that, but in this sense, being able to be self-sufficient and figuring out a way to provide for yourself is incredibly important. Another example of this is actually the lottery. Little known statistic, or not little known, probably a lot of people know this, but it's actually interesting. I mean, imagine winning the lottery. You win $100 million, or I think one of the recent jackpots was like $1.3 billion with like a $700 or $800, or I think it was like a $700 cash payout or something like that, something crazy. And imagine getting all this money. You get $700 million, like, oh my gosh, all my problems are solved. Like I have all the money that I need for the rest of my life. Funny enough, 4 out of 5 people that win the lottery go bankrupt within the first 2 years. That is a baffling amount of people. So imagine that. You are more likely to win the lottery and go bankrupt than to win the lottery and actually keep the money for the rest of your life, which is baffling when you think $700 million, how does that just evaporate over 2 years? Well, when people win, a lot of these folks, and it's not lashing out at any folks, I think that anybody can be successful, but a lot of folks don't know how to actually use money correctly or manage money. They've never had that amount of wealth before. I've never had $700 million in my life, nothing close to that. So it's like, And then getting that amount of money, you have never dealt with that amount of money before in your life. You have the option to buy whatever you want. You can do anything you want with it. You literally solves all your problems overnight in terms of money, at least. But you have no idea how to manage it because you have in essence not been empowered or ever learned that skill set to manage money. In some cases, the best thing would do would be hire somebody to, like a fiduciary, somebody to, watch that money for you. I'm more of a proponent of learning things yourself and empowering yourself. How does money work? How can I turn money into more money? How can I make this money last for my lifetime? My every single family member, all the fruits of my loins, how can I have it survive for generations to come? So it's like an infinite money supply. It never runs out for every generation of my family. But a lot of people don't think like that. And that's how come you have 4 out of 5 people that win the lottery go bankrupt. And a lot of it is the fact that it's people that have never been empowered to learn how to use money properly or never been empowered how to manage money properly. It's they just make enough to get by. Not all cases. Some of the more recent cases, I think it's actually been like in some of the richest California counties. But it's a great example that the idea of feeding a person for a day is not as beneficial as teaching them how to feed themselves for a lifetime. And what I'm ultimately trying to get at is throwing money at problems is not the solution all the time. And you can see that in a lot of today. It's like we throw money at all these social programs and at all these different issues, but is that really solving anything? Are we just providing, in essence, just kind of a crutch for people to lean on? And rather than teaching them how to actually walk and be self-sufficient and sustain themselves and feel glad to do it and excited to do it, because once you actually start to see the fruits of your labor and the work that you put in actually has tangible results, you're excited to do more of it. And rather than incentivizing not doing anything and just sitting down and, I don't want to say being lazy, but just kind of not doing anything with your life. And I'm not saying work is the end all be all, but just sitting there doing nothing, providing no benefit to anybody. How is that empowering people? How is that a solution to the issue? Taking money from groups that actually work and then providing it to, other groups that don't work, how is that beneficial in helping them out? It's not, in honesty. It's just encouraging people to just stay there and do nothing. And I'll get some lashback against that as well. And it's like, well, some people don't want to work like hourly jobs. And the thing is, that's not the end all be all of just working like an hourly job or a lower position. I was a line cook for 3 years. I worked an hourly job through through all of college. And then I was a line cook for about a 6-month stint out of college. I worked hourly job. I've made minimum wage before. It's not the best, but it's definitely something where it's like, hey, at least I'm doing something and getting, paid for my work. And it made me really drove me to want to, get a job that was worthwhile and actually something I enjoy, but also provided me success and more benefit. And the problem is right now we're so focused on short-term solutions rather than the long-term solution of empowering people to get out there and create and work for either themselves or a company and amass success and, greatness on their own, or greatness together. And the thing is, I truly believe we're all in this together. And, the best thing you could do is, if you have skills that you have that, let's say you're good with money, or you're fiduciary, you understand how money works, or let's say you just have a skill set like you're a good leader, or you know how to write, or you know how to program, or web design, or PowerPoint or Excel or things like that. The best thing you could do is be helping others by teaching them these skills and just spreading that love around, because and it's literally teaching people things so that they can go out on their own, and then in return for that they can go teach other people those skills as well. And I'm not saying you have to necessarily do this for free or anything like that, but helping people out is really what we're here to do, and empowering other people and providing and guiding them. Anybody, it doesn't matter. We're all equal in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the universe. And there's no one person that's greater or better. But the thing that people need to understand, the universe doesn't play favorites, but it is going to help support people that pursue their passions, pursue their dreams, and then put in the work behind what they say they're going to do. That's just a natural law of the universe. In essence, it's like, you want to call it luck, you want to call it whatever, but you can't just expect it to rain and then not have your fields prepared. And the thing is it's like you got to prepare your fields for rain, and God will provide the rain eventually. But the only way you can do that is by empowering yourself to get up in the morning and doing the hard work. And that seems to be lost, especially in the West today, of not wanting to do the work and not wanting to actually go out there and at least try. And, putting your best foot forward is the way to move. I truly believe the way to move forward, and empowering others and empowering yourself to do. Making the right decision. And I don't necessarily believe in right and wrong or good and evil. When I say right decision, I mean the right decision, because you have free will. Exercise that free will. And sometimes the right decision is hard, and usually it is hard. But, when you have the choice between basically just sitting on your butt all day and doing nothing, and, maybe going out and learning a new skill, or, applying for jobs, or starting a YouTube channel or a blog, or it doesn't matter. You're empowering yourself to pursue success and greatness. So with that, I wanted to kind of discuss compassion a little bit, and how showing compassion, I don't always believe, is just handing people money and just throwing money at situations. Money doesn't solve everything. Money solves money problems, but the funny part is really compassion is teaching people how to live and thrive on their own, and not have to rely on others and rely on a system to basically take care of them. That is, I don't believe that's compassion at all. If you have to rely on somebody else all the time, how is that compassion for yourself? How is that compassion for the other person if you're always relying on them? Ultimately, the best thing you could do and show compassion for somebody is, rather than just handing them $1 or handing them $10, is giving them the opportunity maybe of a job, or maybe presenting them with opportunities, or teaching them a skill set so that they can thrive on their own. So compassion is a interesting thing. I'm going to actually dive into that a bit more on another video. But with kind of some final thoughts, we're all in this together, and we really, as a family and as children of God, and really we're all one entity, and we're one unit. We are one world. We're one earth, and none of this mumbo jumbo and stuff that they're talking about in the news. I'm not talking about that. I mean, on a metaphysical level, we are all one people. We are one living, breathing entity. So let's empower each other and teach each other and help each other grow. That's why we're here. We're here to learn lessons. We're here to help each other grow. We're here to empower each other to reach crazy levels of success. And everybody has the birthright and the right to thrive in this world. And, sometimes it involves sacrifice. Sometimes it's hard work, but that's part of the journey. The journey should be enjoyable. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. But I heard this phrase once, that a hard life usually indicates an easy death. And what I really think the root of that is living living sometimes a hard life, a difficult life, putting in hard work, and toiling, and actually just putting everything you have into this place. You get to experience just a beautiful release from this place, and that's the beauty of it. We should really work to empower each other and others, because that's all we have. I mean, ultimately, we are a part of God, and God is a part of us. We are all we have. So we need to really start taking care of each other by teaching each other and guiding each other in the things. Nobody's perfect. There's people that are great at some things, people that are great at other things. So why don't we, have the people that are good at one thing teach the other ones that aren't so good, and vice versa. Everybody is a master in some regard. Everybody is, in essence, has something that nobody else can do. You just need to figure out what that is and empower yourself to pursue that, and empower others and teach others and help people regardless. I don't care, rich, poor, fat, ugly, old, young. I don't give a crap about race, or I don't give a crap about any of that stuff. We need to help each other, because that's what we're here for. So with that, again, thanks for tuning in for today's video. If you liked it, I would absolutely appreciate you hitting that like button. It really, really does help the channel grow. If you aren't a subscriber already, smash that subscribe button. That also helps the algorithm, helps the channel grow. And if you're interested in any future content, hit that notification bell. I publish about usually 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So look for a video coming out on Friday. Other than that, have a fantastic rest of your day, and God bless.